Good morning, church. I have a wonderful friend with me this morning, Dr. Steve Vernon. I've known Steve a long time and absolutely thrilled that he and his wife Donna are new members at First Baptist Belton. They've moved to our community to be close to their daughter Amy Mongillo and her family. And I never dreamed that I'd get to pastor Steve, but it is a joy. Steve is recently retired from Texas Baptist as the Associate Executive Director for Texas Baptist, or as some of you may still call it, the Baptist General Convention of Texas. And so Steve, thank you for spending a few minutes with me this morning, because today's message is about the challenge of Texas. So if you'll let me, I want to ask some questions about Texas Baptist. And the first question is, who are Texas Baptists?
Texas Baptist are a group of 5,400 churches that are joined together cooperatively. There's no big organization, but the convention is actually made up of the churches. And together we try to help churches be equipped to do their work. And we try to help churches do what one church can't do, but together as a cooperating body we can do. We do evangelism, missions, education, benevolent causes. That all goes back to our Constitution in 1886. But it's a band of churches that are banded together to do the work of Christ in the kingdom.
And First Baptist Belton is pleased to be one of those churches.
And we are pleased to have First Baptist Belton.
Thank you. Straight from your website, these words: a priority of Texas Baptist is start, develop, and strengthen transformational churches. What is a transformational church?
We believe that churches are made up of transformed people who are transformed by their relationship with Christ and the ministry of the Holy Spirit. Those transformed churches then work to transform their communities, to transform the state, to transform the world, to transform the lives of lost people around them. We believe that Christ is in the work of transforming all of us. And so that's what we really talk about when we talk about transformational churches.
A question I've heard, so I ask you: why should we plant more churches in Texas? Don't we have enough already?
Sometimes it seems that way when you go down the street and you can't throw a rock without hitting a Baptist church. And some have tried, honestly, but right now the state of Texas has about 25 million people. And we know that more than half of those people have no relationship with Jesus Christ. We also know that in the next 25 years, Texas will grow another 20 to 25 million people. When you think about that and realize the task that's ahead, we need new churches. The other alarming statistic for us is that each year we lose more churches that just cease to exist than we start new churches. We also know that 90% of the baptisms that we record happen in new churches. Really? So they are the frontier, the cutting edge of who Texas Baptists are, and really winning people to the kingdom.
I'm glad to hear that. That's a question that I'm sure you've heard before, and
Yes.
That's a tremendous answer. Thank you for sharing that with us. Texas is big, we're diverse, and we're growing. How can we reach Texas for Christ?
It's going to take a cooperative effort. I don't know of one church that can take on that effort. If you take a total of 50 million people that will be here in another 20, 25 years, and you divide that by the number of churches in Texas, not just Baptist, we would have to win more than 2,000 to 3,000 people a year to Christ to reach the entire state. So cooperating together to do that is really going to be the best way we're going to manage that as we work together. And that's part of what Texas Baptists are about, is cooperation.
This sermon series that I'm doing right now is about what we can do at First Baptist Belton. So I ask you that question: what can our church do?
I think it boils down to, first of all, pray. Pray for a lost state, because we live in a state that is no longer majority Christian. We used to take pride in the fact that we were the Bible Belt, and we're not even the buckle, we're not even the hole in the belt. Society has moved on, culture has moved on, new people have moved in, and we are a minority as Christians in this state. So pray for this state, pray earnestly, pray for the people the churches who are on the cutting edge, pray for new church starts. That doesn't happen without money, too. And we so much appreciate First Baptist Belton and the contributions they make annually to the cooperative program and to the Mary Hill Davis offering. It takes money to do what we do and to build those cooperating entities. And then go. There's so many ways in Texas Baptist life church members can minister. Texas Baptist Men in disaster response and relief, being church starters, going to new church plants, as some of the folks in our church have done with the New Start. Even the MAP missionary program, missionary adoption program. And what we try to do is partner churches or Sunday school classes or even individuals with a church in Brazil to work cooperatively to plant missionaries on the Amazon River. It can be done for as little as like $75 a month. The Brazilian church does $75 a month, but that will sustain a missionary on the Amazon. We're also working with that in India. We're working with that in Spain. We work through the national conventions, the Brazilian National Convention, the Spanish Baptist Convention, the conventions in India. And it's a way that we share the gospel. But these people who are sharing the gospel are indigenous people. And they know the language, they know the culture. And it's been a remarkable thing to see and to be a part of. Churches partner with those MAP churches. They go to where those MAP churches are. So it's another amazing way you can be involved with Texas Baptist life.
You're talking about Texas Baptists. Tell us a little bit about the diversity in Texas.
Texas Baptists are almost as diverse as the state itself. For example, we have more than 1,000 churches that call themselves Hispanic churches. We have more than 800 that are African American churches. We have 250 churches that are of other ethnicities, which includes Chinese, Japanese, African, Asian, Indonesian, literally all over the world. As a matter of fact, every Sunday morning in Texas Baptist life, we are in 69 different languages. The gospel is preached. God is using those opportunities to touch lives and win people to Christ. We're on the river. We've been on the river for 50 years, and we're ministering to refugees, winning those unaccompanied minor boys that come across. We're winning those by the thousands each year. God is using us in amazing ways, and it's an exciting thing to see happen.
Steve, I cherish your friendship. Thank you for sharing with us this morning.
It's a pleasure to do that, Andy. Thanks so much.
God bless you, my brother.